Hey, yo, what's up? This is Mark with the Digital Liberation Podcast, and we have another special edition of Big Drip Talk. This time, I am chilling with the homie MJ. And me and MJ met during the time when he was working over at Barneys, and this guy is just one of the freshest dudes that I know out here in the Bay Area, period. Maybe one of the freshest dudes that I know in general, so I'm so excited to talk to him about fashion, and we really get into it, and we get really deep, not only into the art of fashion, but also how to make sure you still feeling drippy during these COVID times. You know what I'm saying? These are deep motherfucking COVID hours, and MJ tells you how to stay fresh and still feel real and still feel dope. And you know what I gotta say, I'm so glad we're doing this Big Drip thing because y'all, there's some weak menswear podcasts out there, and we're gunning for them. We're gunning for them. They're not going to be able to exist if we keep doing shit like this. So shouts out to MJ. Shouts out to everyone who's been a part of it thus far. And shouts out to you, the listener. You know what I'm saying? Listen, sit back, get inspired. Get inspired by two people who really love the art of dripping, who really love the art of clothes, and who really care about how we're presenting ourselves. So thank you for listening. I will see you on the other side. Peace. So, yo, man, I wanted to ask you because, you know, like, I'll be honest, dude, like, you know, like me, I'm originally from New York, and I grew up around a lot of people who are like super into like clothing in different ways and shit like that. And like, dude, there's not a lot of people like you, especially like in the Bay Area. And I'm just super interested, fam. Like, how did you even get into like fashion to the level that you're dedicated to it on?
I pretty much was just motivated by the feeling, man. It just feels good to, you know, express yourself through style and swag. And I started working in retail, and then it just kind of took off from there. I just kind of fell in love with the vibe, and just started learning about different designers and kind of leveling up through the little retail circuit in SF.
So like when did this kind of start? Like around like what year do you feel like you really started feeling like, oh shit, like I really fuck with this?
I mean, pretty heavily a couple of years ago. I think I had Barney's influence was pretty strong. The culture of Barney's, I mean, geez, man, the culture of Barney's in itself is just goes deep with designers. So it's pretty incredible.
So like this whole shit that just happened, man, with like Barney shutting down and all that, man, like did it kind of fuck with you a little bit? Where you like what's next, man? Like did you kind of feel like, oh shit, like this whole thing is a little different?
Yeah. Sometimes a new economy. I think it's better for people to, you know, go direct to customer, man. If you're a designer, middleman is good, but has to be run, you know, fairly. The markups can't be too much. It just has to be more hands-on with your client through, you know, all types of social media marketing and whatever, you know, you need to do to keep in touch with the client. It's not really, I don't think it's about a specific location. However, I do think the location stores provide a main base for these big brands. So they have to figure out a way to be profitable. Otherwise, you know, the culture is never going to be able to thrive in a retail environment. It's set up to fail.
Yeah. I mean, the interesting thing is, man, like, I feel like, you know, like everything always comes down to like how good the people are that are involved. Like, I feel like someone like you, like there's so many brands that people like you put other people onto. And even if it's not putting people onto the brands, like you're able to be like, yo, this piece is something that people should like super pay attention to. Like where do you think that like that sort of feeling will go? Because like, you know, like so many people, even just like, let's say in San Francisco, like they really trusted you know what I'm saying? Like what do you think about that?
Man, these bases have to reopen, and somebody has to do it right, because there has to be a right way to do retail and have these spaces where it's a shared space. Designers can come in, everybody can come through, and you can share ideas, sort of a hub. I mean, they're pretty essential. I think that a great idea would just be probably, I mean, lowering the price point, definitely. better experiences in store. I think like more interactive events with the community, like the full community, I would say, the real community, not just the bourgeoisie community.
Yeah.
I think that would be like way better for everybody. I know the brands kind of will base themselves on exclusivity, but I think it has to be inclusive environment, and just keep the culture alive. Do events. I mean, it's an institution, but the real estate versus the the markup is just too crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be honest, dude. Like, I love designer, but I mean, the markup is sometimes you just say, man, like, are you cool with maybe like half of that? You feel me? Like, how come the shoe is 1,500, my guy? Like 700 or like 400? It makes sense, but at a certain point, it goes off the Richter, and I think that's like way too much overhead to try to say they're going to sell these things at those price points. It's never going to happen. So I think this is the problem from an insider's perspective, where they just have too much supply. They need to be more live with the supply, where it's like, you might want to have less in your store, but of the right things. And then when something comes out live, make sure you're an account that gets all of that. We weren't even getting like Off-White, like Nikes. We didn't even have that account. Like, how does Barneys not have Off-White Nike?
Word.
Like,
That's interesting.
Barneys needs it. Barneys should have had every collab that was out. Like the SBs, like, like, how come Barneys is the top tier client, right? So you would think. But I guess in the streetwear world, they haven't really, I guess the streetwear is kind of even more exclusive now, like the streetwear is flipped on you, just like the preems is like, oh, now, the preem goes crazy, but,
no, that's real. It's super interesting because
get a hold of it.
Nah, totally. It's interesting when you say that because like, and it's so crazy you say that because I remember this was in like one of the last days of the Supreme Barney's store being open. I was down there, dude. In the last month that store was open, I fucking went insane in that store.
Nice.
I went crazy. But the thing was that like it was interesting because I would hear people talk and like the people would just like people who were working there, they would be like, this store is one of the highest like grossing like main stores in like all of Barney's around the world for menswear. And you're right. No. It's like how did they not have a lot of this shit you're talking about?
Yeah, man. We had a lot of good things, but we could have had more specific, inclusive, unique things. And the real downfall was the leadership. Basically, the leadership expanded beyond what they could afford in smaller stores around the country, where they already had base of large stores that were successful. Yeah. So that was one thing. Also, what else? I mean, like I said, they're getting too much product up front. So less is more. Yeah.
Totally. So like,
what'd you get on that? What'd you get on that little bender, that Barney's bender in the last days, man? What are some pieces that you picked up?
Oh man. So,
what?
No. I got I got this I got this coat from a Cold Wall, which is like one of my last posts on the gram. That was like, I was just glad to pick that up. I got that shit for like, dude, like I think maybe less than like $50 or some shit. Cause it was like in the back, like on clearance. It was insane. What else? Dude, so much shit. Like, honestly, dude, I'll send you a picture. I'll send you the picture. Dude, I would leave there like once a week with like 8 bags, bro, because it was just so ridiculous. Like, it was like the shit that they were letting go was like insane. And then it's like, and then, there's people that don't really know how it goes. So they just like do bullshit. Like, especially in the last days. And this is no disrespect to anybody who was there last days, but like you weren't there around a lot in the last days. Like when the last days came, like it was like staff there that didn't know what they had. And so it was like, you could get like a Stone Island coat and then it didn't have the patch. So they just basically wanted to give it away. And then you're like, dude, I have like 10 patches at home. I'll just put this shit on this jacket. It was just like people, like the last days were like, people didn't even know what they were selling.
Yep. The last days, were crazy. We would have crazy pieces come in that were coming out of a warehouse. And I'm thinking, why is this coming out of the warehouse? Why is this in a warehouse? Like they would just pull in a rack of like 5 like undercover, some Takahashi undercover, clockwork pieces.
Yeah.
Stick them on the rack for like 100 each.
Dude, it was insane.
Those are going on Grail for sure, like 600 for sure.
Dude, like that's the thing too, though. But I do want to know, like, from your experience and like really being able to see like on the inside in a deep way, what were some of the brands that you really grew to appreciate?
Oh, first and foremost, Rick, Big Rick.
So Rick is worth the hype. I mean, like Rick got shit 10 years ago. That's like
Rick is
10x now.
Rick is so insane. Rick is like in his own lane.
But why? Why do you say Rick is created?
His design, quality, uniqueness, comfort, aesthetic. I mean, art. It's art. Everything has been thought about. Everything has been worn. Everything has been tried. Every little corner has been cut. Every single thing has been taken into consideration on that. And the way that the garment fits and feels and wears and the unique fabrics that are used is unlike any other designer. And the aesthetic is, to me, I really like it. It's pleasing how it's muted colorways, and I really just enjoy everything about it. I think also there's in the fashion world to the extreme, whereas Rick is a runway. So you'll see crazy, of course, artistic, modern, futuristic pieces that aren't even, right? If you know runway fashion, it just gets off the wall. There's no rules. There are no rules at all, which is beautiful. So all that.
Damn. So like, do you own any Rick pieces?
Oh yeah, I own a few Ricks, a few Rickies. Pretty comfortable, pretty cozy. My favorite one is a camel hair coat.
Ooh.
Yeah,
ooh, that's crazy.
It's a flannel. Yeah.
Damn.
It's a crazy flannel.
Damn. And so like, okay, so like definitely Rick. That's wild. I mean, like I have to say, like that's a for me, Rick is a designer that I respect so much. But like I feel like a lot of the super fire Rick shit.
Yeah,
I haven't even like been able to really even see. Like it just moves so fast and it's so rare. It's just so rare.
It's a rare world, man. I mean, you got to look. You basically just got to troll online, basically, to even be part of it or try to find it. Unless you're in a fashion district. I mean, if you're in LA or New York or London, Paris, I'm sure it's more prevalent. But who knows? It's kind of a weird, dark world of a pretty small, unique batch. But
how do you feel? How do you feel about the idea that like, and I mean this, whatever, I'll just go there because you're real. You can have this convo. How do you feel about the idea that someone like Virgil is basically just like a Rick copy machine?
The Virgil,
the Virgil talk.
Virgil effect.
Yeah. I mean, how do you think? Like, what do you think? Like, when you compare, like, do you think as somebody who owns Rick and like you see a lot of Off-White, do you feel like like what do you think about that? I mean, like what that Rick Owens like Virgil comparison?
Rick Owens and Virgil, as a comparison, I would say they're both beasts in their own league. They just, one plays basketball, one plays baseball.
Ooh. But who's in the NBA?
You already know Virgil's in the NBA. No question. We all know who's on the swoosh squad. Okay.
No, that's real. That's real. But you do have respect for like Virgil and Off-White and everything that's happened over there.
I love it. You know why? Anybody who's shining, doing what they're doing, coming up in their career, coming up in the world, setting precedents, doing big things, creating superstars, I got love for him. He's real positive. He brings everybody together. And at the end of the day, if you could do it, right? Everybody's got something to say, right?
Sounds.
You want to be Virgil, he messed up with the Nike. Did he though? Nobody got. I think I only have great things to say.
Nah, fuck with that. I feel that. And so like, okay. So like this is great. It's great to get this like base on it.
Oh, great, brother.
So like, what are some other brands? So I know you're fucking with Rick hard. What are just some brands in general that you think people might be like sleeping on right now?
Slept on brand.
Yeah.
Let's see. I would say, if people heard of maybe Kid Super out of New York. Kid Super is a little slept on right now.
So you like what Kid Super is doing? I've been looking at what they've been doing a bit, but
it's just the homie who's making stuff. Like that's cool to me.
Yeah, but there's a big movement of that on Instagram, and I would love to know like how you feel about that. Like, how do you feel about kind of like these like kind of like pages here and there that are just like kind of popping up? They're making cool clothes. People are buying it directly from them. Some of them have runway shows. Some of them don't. Do you think that's like legit and respectable, or do you think it takes like a Barneys or like a Dover Street Market to like co-sign you for you to be real?
I don't know that's a very interesting question, my friend. Thank you for that. No, I don't think you need a cosign to be real, man. Just do it however you feel. If you're doing runway shows and you're getting noticed, and you're living your best life, producing, creating, being an artist, being true, putting your product out there, sharing, and it's creating traction, I think that's fantastic. As long as it's all positive, beautiful work you're putting out there, and just like fear of God, right? You think of a fear of God, or the new guys, the Amiri guy, how you would sometimes you would think how do people get to a level where they're at, and it's because there's something special. They have that it factor where it's just for some reason it hits. So there's a lot of hitters out there, and I don't think you have to be co-signed, but it helps, which is also ties into if Barneys could have tied a little bit more into some more streetwear brands, independent brands, I would think.
No, it's interesting you say that. Do you think that is part of the downfall of like a lot of things like Barneys, and I'm sure I'm sure that like there's going to be more of this, right? Like Neiman's is probably going to fold. Like who knows how long Bergdorf will be around? Like do you think part of it is that they lost touch?
I think they were really in touch actually, but it's a rise and a fall. And I think that they needed to stay in the middle kind of and reach out to a little bit more of a middle, but a cooler level, right? Instead of offering tons of low end Adidas, right? Look for the independent brands that make shoes. And they did a really great job of that. But I think they went too mainstream.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. It was like, no,
I don't want to say that they didn't. They did a really great job of including small brands and bringing people up, all the main brands, and that was their legacy. But I think keeping up with that in the times when I was there. However, I was only in Barneys for the last 2 years. I just felt like they needed to make quicker, better adaptations to what the environment was. Yeah.
No, totally. And like it also makes me think like I feel like there's just like even in general like there's this also and this is also something I really would love to hear your idea on, like, you know, when you talk about like this sort of like Balenciaga, Vetements kind of like style. Like, I feel like a lot of people like also kind of like copy that. Like, how do you feel about like that style of fashion right now? Because I like to call it like meme fashion. Like, it just feels like meme shit. Like, what do you think about like that whole world of like this sort of like ironic but like hell of expensive sort of like style shit? Like, do you fuck with that? Like, what do you think about that shit?
Yeah, man. I think that it's too expensive to look like that sometimes.
Mm-hmm. That's facts.
Yeah. But I definitely appreciate it for what it brings to the table. But it's more of a weird factor. I think Balenciaga and Vetements is more of a troll brand.
Yeah, totally trolling, memeing the fuck out of people. Like
they're just trolling. They did their fashion show inside of a McDonald's. They just rented it for their fashion show. That was whack.
No, that's so real. Like, what do you?
Like, that's what's funny about it, is it's so whack. Like, they make crazy stuff that looks super wacky and whack, actually. But then they'll do like really cool stuff too. It's like they own both worlds. And like, but the price point is out of control. That's the problem. That is a huge problem for me. It is. And one of the weird things for me is like, all right, so for instance, do you own any of those, like, you know, like the like, I can't remember the name, right? The fucking Balenciaga sneakers, the big ass ones, you know, the one with the huge. I have it. I have one. Okay. How are those? Tell me about those. Cause I don't have those. I feel like I'm one of the few people in the world that don't fucking have those shoes. Talk to me about those shoes. Do you feel like they're worth it? Are they comfortable? Do you feel fresh in them? How do those feel to you? They're definitely ridiculous, first and foremost. So you better know when you have that, you're going to be a freaking clown of the town, dude. Man about town, trust. Because those things, you can see them from a mile away. They look like a boat. Like if you're on a luxury yacht on each foot, like a mini luxury yacht. So basically it's multi-tiered. There's levels, windows. They're cool though. It's a wave. I think the funny thing about it now is they're still mad expensive because they stopped. Well, they didn't stop producing them, but they're still mad expensive. They held their value pretty well. They did, and a couple years later, I'm surprised. They did. No, totally, man. Like, and they're not. I mean, like, okay. Here's the interesting thing about that whole style. Like, you know, like one of the things. So, like, when I first like. I don't even want to say when I first started. It's crazy because like I've been buying Virgil since he had this brand called like Super Fun, which was like 4 or 5 years ago. This is like before Pyrex, like probably over 4 or 5 years now. But how'd you know about him? Oh, dude. Okay, so like one thing about me, dude, is like I'm probably like the like one of the biggest Kanye West fans like on earth, and like I knew of Virgil, like basically as soon as he started, like as soon as he had an internship with Kanye West. Like I could tell you, like it's ridiculous. You mean Yeezus? Yeah, but like even before that, dude, because all right, so you gotta know, like I went to Chicago maybe like 8 or 10 years ago now. And like the first place, like, dude, right off the plane when I landed in Chicago, the first place I went to was RSVP Gallery. And like, it was a store that like Virgil and like Dancy were running. And I met both of them at the store. And like, I was like telling them about all the shit that they were doing. They were like, dude, how does this guy even fucking know who we are? Wow. Like, I'm like a super fan, like of just everything that all those guys have been doing. Yeah. Like that's wonderful. Yeah, that's wild. But so like, I've been knowing about all the shit that they was doing and like all the brands that they've done that's failed. Like I got shit in my closet from like all those eras. And it's interesting because like a lot of the shit that they're doing now are like remakes of shit that they did before, but in better quality. Yep.
So it's kind of cool. But
it's cool. It's cool. Yeah.
yeah, and so like the interesting thing is like with Denma and all that, like I remember being on his shit super early. Like I have super early like Vetements shit, and like dude, like it's been incredible. And I always would like I would talk to my wife and shit, and I'd be like, yo, like dude, I'm kind of worried because if there's Balenciaga, like Vetements, like off-white shit, like as soon as it's not cool no more, this shit's gonna look stupid. Like this is gonna be the worst shit on earth because it's so distinct. Like all this quote, like you know what I'm saying, quote T-shirt or whatever. Like once it's corny, you know what I'm saying, it's over. Like you can't rock.
I understand. And this is about labels. What you're talking about is about labels.
Yep.
Labels.
Yep. And that's the thing. And I feel like that's the thing that we've entered into that people are not prepared for. Like even Gucci now, like Gucci is so heavily branded. Like, dude, I remember like my hood family members and shit having like Gucci shirts and shit. And then like Gucci for a minute, like was whack. Like probably for like maybe until like 3 or 4 years. It was garbage.
When I first started working in retail about 7 years ago, it was whack.
It was garbage. You know what I'm saying?
No, it was good, but it was like pretty whack though.
But it was whack. if you like, yo, like dog, if like think about it. Like when you started, bro, like 7 years ago, if somebody walked into your store who had like an oversized vintage Gucci tee, even if it was real, you would be like, yo, this person's hood. Like this person don't even know what's good. But now you can rock that same tee. You look like you fire. it's like, yo, like that, like, I think like Vetements, Balenciaga, and like Off-White, they definitely have that going. Like once this shit becomes whack, you can't rock this shit for like a good 10 years because it's not even going to make sense.
Dude, if I see that freaking construction sign jacket on any more kids, dude, I'm done. Bro, paint the sidewalk.
Facts. This is what I mean.
I love it, but logo mania, it sometimes it's too much.
It is, and
we'll get overdone.
Fam, we're about to reach peak logomania. I'm telling you, bro.
Well, I'm telling you, that's why I mess with the underground vibes.
So what's the underground vibe?
Oh, the Dries, you feel me? I like Saint Laurent, Prada, you know, the like unders.
Oh, yes.
The under hitters, you know?
Yeah.
Something you got in a back alley, like a boot from a cobbler, you know?
Yeah.
Some type of vibe, like that type of vibe.
Nah, I fuck with that. All right. Yeah. How do you feel about Raf?
Raf is created a name for himself, man. Raf is I think Raf is dope. Definitely. I don't really know too much about his history, but I mean, can you tell me which houses he's worked for so far? Because I know he's deep, right?
No, Raf is super deep. I know that Raf did work. So the most recent shit is the Calvin Klein shit.
I know about most recent stuff usually. Yep, the CK.
That CK shit is crazy. Where else did Raf did Dior? Yeah, Raf was over at Dior for a minute. Raf was at Dior before Kim Jones. And that's another thing, yo. Kim Jones is a fucking beast. And Kim Jones, in my opinion, like everybody talks about Virgil as like the streetwear high fashion dude. Kim Jones is the real streetwear high fashion bridge because Kim Jones over at Louis Vuitton, he's the one who bought over Virgil, I mean, Virgil wouldn't even be there without him. He bought over Supreme to do the Louis Vuitton shit. He bought over fucking Murakami. And now Dior's doing shit with Stussy. Dior's fire now. Dior did the whole fucking... Oh my God. Like,
you just brought up so many good points.
Yeah, like honestly, like, so I know I started with Raf, but I also gotta stay like, yo, Kim Jones is like...
Kim Jones is
in my top 5, like ever.
The Louis, all the stuff that he did with Louis was crazy.
Yeah. And now Dior is going ham. And that's all because of Kim Jones.
Dior is going crazy.
Like, and so that's my thing. I just feel like Kim Jones is somebody who like, he gets kind of lost in the mix a little bit because I think people get so excited about Virgil and Raph and but like Kim Jones is really the one who's like keeps that shit like locked down and like kills it.
He's legendary also.
So all right. So hold up.
Big time. He's legendary. He's no question, brother.
Yeah. So all right. So I'm asking my friend. So Raph was Dior. Oh, Jil Sander. Oh my fucking God. That's another brand that niggas sleep on so hard. Jil Sander, dude. Do you fuck with Jil Sander?
Jil Sander is grown.
Yeah. And so like Raph put in a lot of work over at Jil Sander. I forgot about that. That's like, dude, Jil Sander, that's a brand, dude.
Jil Sander and Dries reminds me of each other.
Dude, but both Dries and Jil Sander, those are brands, bro, that like you could just put on like a button up by them and it just feels so crazy. Like motherfuckers, like they don't even know. They might think it's Hermes, bro. Like I know. That's one of them crazy brands.
I know. I've been dressing up during the quarantine, man. I'll throw on a nice, a little fit just to feel proper. I might throw on a Prada t-shirt, and I might throw on a Prada t-shirt and some Amiris just to feel myself during the quarantine sometimes.
Dude, honestly, people need this. I need this. See, this is what I needed from you. This is why I'm so glad we're having this convo. Like, talk to me about this. How, you
need to get it together. You need to get your life together. Whatever you're doing, do it better. Figure it out. Learn about sustainability. We need to learn, grow. It's hard times right now. It's really sad times, I think. It's very humbling, very sad times for people. So
yeah, but see, like for me, dude, it is humbling.
To get on it regardless.
We do, and like it's humbling, it's sad, dude. And I gotta be honest, like I'm in the crib, dude. I'm not shaving enough. I'm not cutting my hair enough. I'm not even getting fresh. I'm not even getting fresh the way that that makes me feel like me. Like, dude, can you how do we do this? How do we get up and put on some fly gear and just keep it together? Like give us some advice, man. I need it. I'm asking for.
I'm telling you, brother. I got mad advice on this topic.
Please,
brother. So first of all, we're in the crib, okay? So you got morning, noon, and night. You got different fits. Switch the fits in the crib.
Dude, you doing 3 fits a day? You doing the Beyonce? You doing 3 fits? You know what I'm saying? You handing up
breakfast, lunch, and dinner, dog.
Shit, yo, that's fly. That's fly as fuck. All right, so you just got to do it for yourself.
And you got to keep it clean. You got to get a video chat with your auntie. She needs to see a little haircut.
That's facts.
You can't just leave it all ragged. You're doing video chats. Family's like, man, he's really fallen. He's really fallen into a hole, and during the quarantine, he fell off.
So dude, I mean, you dripping on you. So you're straight dripping on niggas with the fucking Zoom chats.
I put on full ass Rick and Gucci loafers and just read in the backyard.
Oh shit!
Straight up.
How does it feel? How does that shit feel?
It feels like the sun is shining on my soul, man. I mean, we do what we got to do. We do what we got to do during this time. This is crazy. You know how it is. We used to take a ride down the coast, meet up, hang out at a restaurant, eat, nice Friday night, whoop, whoop.
Yeah.
Now you got to do that on your patio. You got to invite your homies with the FaceTime on the patio. We're about to have wine on the patio, fam. All of us.
And drip. And you got to keep dripping.
You got to come out. You got to come. I mean, if you don't ever keep yourself up, oh, man. Even if you're in the house. I mean, that's part of it. That's part of it.
Nah, you're right. I mean, and I think this is so real. Like I think so many people are losing this. So many people are just losing just that shit that totally makes them who they are. And I think now is also the time to take a step back and actually potentially think about like fuck whatever brands everybody else is fucking with. Yeah. What brands make you feel the way you want to feel? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely.
I like that.
I totally understand what you're saying right now, because what it is we are in we're all in a mutual consciousness about like with ourselves at the same time right now.
Yeah.
Due to the fact that we are so isolated. So I think psychologically as a society, that's a whole shift. And I think people are going to be thinking more about critical things about themselves.
Dude, like even for me, man, like I've had to think so much about what I want to cop, right? Like now I look at things so differently, dude. Like I look at things like, yo, like, okay, like what do I even want to be delivered to me? Like, what do I actually want? Like, not on some shit like
it's almost like nothing, right?
No,
Isn't
that's the
crazy?
thing. That's the thing. But then the things that stand out, I'm like, yo, I really want this shit because I still want that. Even now, I still want it. But,
right.
shit, dude, like you know, if this was this time last year, I would have got like the Supreme Timberlands. I would have got the Supreme Air Force Ones, the North Face. But now in this era, I'm looking at it and I'm like, yeah, it's not special enough. Like the brands are one thing. Yeah, it's cool that these came together, but it's like, but it doesn't move me. Like I'm not emotionally. So like, why would I do that now? And that I feel like I wish I could be there without having to go through this. You know what I'm saying? It's like, because
interesting conundrum.
Because fashion is art, right? And so it's like what's the art that's really moving me? Like what's the creative pieces that are happening that I just like can't wait to get my hands on, that I just can't wait to like see and feel and rock and be a part of. And it's like okay, so for instance, one of my last days, right? One of the last days I was at Barneys, I was trying things on. I was trying to just like look at different shit. And I had asked this dude, I was like, yo, I was just basically like, yo, like this 46 pants fits, this one doesn't. And dude looked at me and he was like one of the last good people there. And he was like, yo, like we don't ever sell for fit. Like we don't sell on size, we sell for fit. And that shit, I was like, dude, you know, this is why I come here and talk to you people, because that's the type of shit that I need to hear. It's like none of that shit actually matters, right? Like size large, that doesn't mean anything, right? Like it really doesn't. Like every single piece of clothing that's produced is a different size. You know what I'm saying? Like all of these things, like you have to start to think about everything differently. And like this moment to stop and pause, dude, like the other, like last night I couldn't like really sleep well. And I woke up in the middle of the night and I was like, dude, this moment that we have where everyone has to stop, it's actually kind of beautiful because we all have to stop and think about everything. We all have to stop and be like, yo, what the fuck does this mean for me? And like, that shit is great. I don't know if like, dude, guys like us, we're always fucking making moves. We're always hustling. We're always flipping. And the opportunity to stop and think is actually pretty fucking rare.
This is definitely a rare moment in time. And I definitely agree with you. You know, I've been thinking that myself. It's a time for all of us to stop and think about what is important and think about where we are, who we are, and have a little bit of extra time away from people. And it's a rare moment in time that this sort of energy is around. It's definitely beautiful. However, like you said, I wish we all wish it were under different circumstances.
No, 100. Like it sucks that it has to be like this, but at the same time, it's like, dude, like we have to make the best of it, you know? And I think like exactly what you talked about like put on some fresh shit, like get in a fresh environment and curate your lifestyle.
Curate your lifestyle.
Like, I think that's important, dude. And I think like you are someone who I love to talk to because you are very much a master of that. You know what I'm saying? Like you're someone who pays attention to the details around him and then like uses that to empower yourself. And like, you know, like what advice do you have, just even for anyone out there who's like listening, like to kind of like do that, and whatever they do, like how to, like what kind of things should people like pay attention to continue to like learn more and like dig deeper and just care about like the shit that's around them?
Man, we just thank you for saying that, by the way, man. I feel the same way about you, man. You're always a solid dude, kept it 1,000. We always had some good laughs, always talked about the hypest, dopest stuff. Man, it's really a blessing to work with you, man.
Same.
So, yeah, man. I would say, we need to realize we're all in this together. This is my takeaway. We're all in this together. And so we need to put our best foot forward and just be aware of what's going on around you, and give love. At the same time, and this is time of crisis, but it's also time of growth and change, a paradigm shift, I would say. And we just have to be thankful every day, and be careful, take care of people. We have a beautiful world. We have to keep thriving, brother.
Nah, dude, 100%, man. And I will say, dude, one of the things that that this conversation with you actually empowered me to really do is like, I realized too, sometimes I think as people who like just love fashion so much, like sometimes it's also like, damn, like I want to share this, I want to express this, but I don't want motherfuckers to just think I'm like stunting on them and like trying to dunk on their heads. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is, what I'm gonna do is, and I want you to join me. I'm telling you this because I want you to fucking join me in. Is that I think people like us, dude, I think we have to continue to like get our fits off. And I think we have to like share that shit, because people like us that do this and who have like a certain level of, and this is not even being cocky or ridiculous about it, but who have a certain level of like artistry with the way that we approach putting our fits together and all that shit. Like, dude, that shit actually inspires people and it makes them feel better. And it makes them feel like they could do it too. Like it brings some sort of normalcy to this ridiculous situation that we're in. And I think that like, like it's okay. Like motherfuckers don't have to just sit around wearing sweats all day. They can feel like they could get their fits off too and contribute to this. And that's something that I'm going to throw out. Like, and I thank you for talking so much about the fits that you're putting together and the way that you're like still dripping. Like that shit is important, dude. And like motherfuckers need to be able to keep doing that shit. And so like that's one thing I'm gonna do is like I'm gonna figure out a way to like get my fits off and share them shits with people. And I hope you join me and you do the same. I'm gonna tag your ass. I'm gonna figure out a way. I'm gonna be like, yo, you're in this shit with me. Like we're gonna figure out some way to like let that be known. But like get your fits off. Share that shit with the public and everybody who's listening. I'm going to tell y'all to do the same. Like we should still get our shit off and still get it out. We can't let this shit defeat us. And fashion shows us that. That's the power of fashion. It shows us at our best. And like, we need to do that.
Yeah. I mean, for sure. The thing about it is fun too, right? That's one thing I didn't mention. It's really just fashion is just for fun, and creativity. And enjoyment, I mean, so we're all trying to have a good time here. It's really tough right now for people, but you gotta do some different things and make it different or special. And I'm coming up with new sweats fits. My sweat game is crazy right now. I'm layering different type of sweats. Damn. Right. Because I got the coronavirus, sweats.
Ooh.
Who even knows? I might come up with some different type of drip.
Ooh.
Some track pants with some leggings and then double socks.
Damn, that's why.
Because you gotta be comfortable during this time. This is the most important part that I found about this times.
Dude, that's so fly. That's so fly. Dude, I got this like Stussy sweater from like the 80s that I've been like breaking in, and it just started to get like this. But like I've been breaking this shit in since like, I mean, I maybe had it for like 10 years or so, but I've been breaking it in myself. But dude, it's just started to distress and like it's now become like my favorite sweater because it's like this vintage OG Stussy sweater, and now I got like rips in it. Like this shit look like some brick shit now. Like it look crazy, bro.
Yeah, that's
like,
cool. That's
hot.
the best part about clothes is busting them down over time.
Dude, I agree. Like I'm one of those people like I got kicks, dude, that like if I kept them clean, they'd be worth like a couple G's. I break them shits down, dude. I'm the person like I love a dirty, fucked up piece of clothing. Like to me, that's what it's about.
I like it. I think I like when designer is worn because it looks cooler to me. Like you have designer and you wear it a lot. You wear it like it's normal.
Dude, that's the swag.
That's the one. It's like, oh, what? These? No, who cares?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I just went on a little hike.
Dude, but that's the thing. It's not even really worth it if you're not rocking that shit like that. Like that's what it's about.
What
like
I mean.
That's what it's exciting, yo.
Because
like
when things are too clean, sometimes I get a little too upset sometimes.
Yo, same. It's like once it like, dude, there's a certain point with clothes where it passes this threshold of being fucked up, and then it becomes like the best shit in the world.
Gives it life.
Yeah.
Gives it longevity. I mean, I still have stuff that's not broken in my closet, and it's hard to wear it. I like stuff a little bit, something.
Dude. The most annoying piece of clothing is a piece of clothing that has a stain that only you fucking notice.
Oh, bro.
That's the worst shit.
I hate stains. Stains are like my enemy.
I know. Like that's
everything
the worst.
But stains.
You're like, dude, like I'm the only one who's gonna notice this dumb shit on it, but now I don't want to rock it because I don't feel 100 in it. This shit is fucked up. It's fucking that's the problem.
You better get on YouTube.
Nah, fam,
figure out what kind of fabric it is and figure out what kind of abrasives you have in your cabinet.
Nah, dude, facts. Well, yo, MJ fam, this whole convo, fam, thank you. Like this has already gone on, and dude, I hope this isn't
going up.
We gotta link up and do this like again.
We gotta link. Let's do coffee talks.
Oh, dude, I'm with it, dude. And like, dude, the way we talk about shit, every time we talk, I'm just so glad that this one is recorded because every time we talk, there's so many gems that get dropped that like, it's like, this is just adding to it. The fact that it's fucking content. But dude, we got to do this more. We got to connect more and more, man. Fam, thank you so much. I'm so glad during this crazy ass time we could connect. And dude, we're going to do this more.
This has been really great, Mark. I really appreciate your time, all the time you put into the great questions and, the fashion talk. And I love driving with you, brother. I really appreciate you.
Fam, I love connecting with you too. I will talk to you soon. It'll be like a day or two, and then this will be out. We'll fucking share this with the world. The world will get to listen to it. And yeah, fam, thank you, fam. I will talk to you soon.
Shout out to all the listeners.
Yeah, fam. Peace. Hey, yo, thank you for listening to the Digital Liberation Podcast. I am Mark, your host, and you can find me at Mark Digital HD. That's MarkDigitalHD. You can also find Feltzine at FELTZINE. We produce this show along with a lot of other dope content and experiences. If you enjoyed the show, please subscribe and leave a sig rating, fam. It helps us spread digital activism and support the creatives that make up the internet's counterculture. You know that's what we all about, alright? Peace.